Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
A Minnesota man is taking his unselfishness to a whole new level after giving a family still going through a rough emotional time a generous gift.
If Alexandria resident Earl Melcher wasn't considered a hero before, he certainly increased his chances today after giving a reward check of $7,000 for helping find a missing teenager back to that young girl and her family.
Melcher is the man who recognized abducted teen Jasmine Block in September as she ran from her captors, put her in his truck and called police. Jasmine was allegedly taken by someone known to her family, held captive for nearly a month, and repeatedly sexually assaulted by her kidnapper and 2 others. Authorities credit Melcher for helping Block escape her captors. Today, Alexandria police presented Melcher with a check for $7,000 reward money put up by Block's family and an anonymous donor for anyone who could provide information that would lead to Jasmine's return. But when the chief handed the check to Melcher, he turned and gave it to Jasmine, then gave her a big hug. Alexandria's police chief thanked Melcher, adding that it's people like these that make this world a better place. Meanwhile, 3 men who are accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting Jasmine have all been charged.
The Radisson Hotel in downtown Fargo is back in operation, and a man is being evaluated after a brief lockdown this afternoon. Investigators believed the man was suicidal and possibly had a firearm. This incident happens as the nation is focused on a shooting out of a hotel in Las Vegas. When John Winkleman tried to check into the hotel this afternoon, he was told it was on lockdown. The hotel remained in lockdown for almost 3 hours. In the wake of the Las Vegas shooting, Winkleman wasn't surprised to hear that the man in the hotel could have a firearm.
Really in favor of greater gun control nationwide, and it wouldn't have surprised me in the least if it was a gun issue.
The situation ended peacefully. The man involved in the incident was taken for medical evaluation.
Tomorrow will be warm, but the winds are expected to blow strongly. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's go to Hutch for a look at tonight's weather. Hutch?
We've seen some clouds here in the Southern Valley throughout the mid-afternoon hours. Those are starting to break, and we're seeing the setting sun out to the west. Rain moving through the Twin Cities, but it's clearing for them a little bit as well. So for tonight, very quiet. Light winds and temperatures for the most part in the 50s. As we'll see winds increase overnight, as you mentioned. Here's a look at Grand Forks 50s and eventually 40s. And one more good note is that we will not see widespread frost and freezing temperatures. A wind advisory posted for our western counties, gusts over 40 to start your weekend. I'll have hour-by-hour details in a moment.
Look forward to that. Thanks.
Quite a scare at a South Fargo apartment building earlier today. Firefighters were called out to a car that went up in flames at that building, which is just south of the Kmart off of University. Our crew on the scene said the fire was put out pretty quickly. There's no word yet on whether there were any injuries.
Police across the country are stepping up efforts to respond better to mental health calls.
One department in Minnesota is creating a new unit comprised of officers who have received special training to deal with mental health issues.
They're also trying a new approach to interact with residents with known mental health issues and hope other departments will follow suit. Reporter Angela Davis explains.
As a department, we've got a lot of good stuff going on.
Officer Jamie Sipes is the St. Paul Police Department's mental health liaison. He regularly leads discussions about the challenges police officers face as they deal with people in crisis.
We don't know what everybody has. Many of us have different things that we deal with at some point during our life. 1 in 5 people throughout their life at some point will deal with a mental illness.
St. Paul police say they've seen a dramatic increase in the number of calls they receive involving a mental health concern. In 2006, that number was 5,693. In 2016, it was 12,345.
If we're going to be involved in those, let's be involved in the beginning when the person has that first break or first psychosis episode or the first instance where they need connected with resources. Let's help there.
Get on the ground! We've seen cases in the last few years where someone living with mental illness has been arrested, even shot and killed. By creating a mental health unit, the police department will work more closely with Ramsey County mental health professionals to connect people with the help they need. They will also inform patrol officers about neighborhood residents who are living with some form of mental illness. and create ways for them to meet before there's an emergency.
When we partner, we're not only able to get them treatment quicker, but we're also able to try to help avoid involvement with the criminal justice system.
The St. Paul Police Department's mental health unit is expected to be up and running in the next 6 months.
A 21-year-old man is dead after a grain elevator accident. It happened about 4 yesterday afternoon at the Wheaton Dumont Co-op in Tenney. That's in Wilkin County, Minnesota. Officials say 3 crew members were working on a platform when one of them fell off. The victim was an employee of Gateway Building Systems out of Fergus Falls. His name hasn't been released.
In Stutsman County, the Sheriff's Department wants you to know that they're looking for 2 fugitives who could be in the Jamestown area. 24-year-old Levi Guthmiller is wanted in Minnesota for possessing a controlled substance and fleeing a police officer. Authorities say he has firearms and other dangerous weapons. Guthmiller, as you can see, is white, 6 feet 2 inches tall, about 150 pounds, with a slender build, green eyes, and red hair. Now, Janessa Ryan is wanted by North Dakota Corrections, but authorities are not releasing any more information. She's 25, she has green eyes, brown hair, about 156 pounds. Ryan could be hiding in either Jamestown or Carrington. If you see either of these people, use caution, call 911 or the Stutsman County Dispatch. The phone number 701-252-9200.
It's Friday and time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say Jason Bai is wanted for a probation violation on felony drug charges. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him.
A man was injured after rolling his cement truck into a river in Jamestown. It happened near a home in the southeastern part of the city today. The driver was trying to back the cement truck behind the home when the riverbank gave way. He and the truck rolled into the James River. Cement leaking from the mixer was reported while crews were getting the truck out of the river. The name of the driver wasn't released. No word on any injuries.
The U.S. Department of Transportation's Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Administration has awarded a near $520,000 grant to the state of North Dakota. The funding will be used to mitigate the risk of hazmat emergencies. Eligible applicants for this funding include emergency managers, fire departments, police departments, local ambulance services, counties, cities, and nonprofit organizations serving local responders. U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp says first responders play a critical role in responding to hazardous material incidents, and government officials owe it to them to make sure they have the resources they need to be prepared for emergencies.
How about some fun as the puck drops tonight, marking the start of another season for the Fargo Force. This year is the 10th anniversary for the Force, and Valley News Live and the Fargo Force have teamed up this year. If you can't make it to Shields Arena to watch the game in person, you can catch the Fargo Force game on MeTV. It starts at 7 tonight.
There are fans and then there are die-hard fans. Later on Valley News Live at 6, the impact of cheering too much for your favorite sports teams.
Up next, we're coming to the end of the road construction season locally. We'll update the larger projects.